Hey guys, hold on 1 second. Hey guys, so it has been a week. Today topic is, are we who we think we are? So why do I pick this topic? So first of all, I think that we usually have an idea of who we think we are, right? So some people, they believe that they are quiet or they are introvert, and some people they believe that they are more outgoing, they have more friends. So the perception that you have about yourself sometimes is not correct, because your personality is not fixed. Okay. Each of us have some type of characteristic. I know that when you were born, you either have like very hot temper, or you are the type of person who very careful, right? Those that come from your biological makeup. But then how you behave, the way that your personality is depend on the situation. If you are in a situation where you piss off or something, you behave differently. Or the environment, the friend, your friend, if you hang out with like a group of bad people, right? They influence how you behave, how you think, how you act. But it's probably not who you are, right? But if you believe it, then you would think, hey, this is the right thing to do. This is who I am. If I smoke, or if I hurt people, or if I steal money, that's just who I am. That's what I think. That's my personality. But that's not true. Your personality can be changed. And you can see, I have friend. You can, in high school, I have a friend who very popular. He's probably like have a lot of friends. He's probably like what do you call it? High school. What is it? Prom king, or something. But then when he go to college, he's not popular anymore, right? He become more quiet. So the last time I saw him, he's not the type of guy who outgoing, who was so friendly like before. He was just so quiet. I keep it to himself. So as you can see, your personality change. You're not gonna be the same person like who you are when you were in high school, right? So the reason why I brought this topic, is because I have experienced it. While in college, I was very quiet and very shy. So the first couple years in college, I just hang out with my roommate, right? I have no girlfriend, no going out, just stay in, study a lot. But I noticed like around third year of college, I start reading some books, and one of the books is talking about pickup artists. So if you're looking up online, there's a community they call pickup artists. So these are the people who would go out to club and find girls and talk to girls, try to attract them. And this concept is very interesting to me, because when I read about it, it's more about human behavior. The guy who wrote the book, he actually is like the master of pickup artist. So what he does is he would go out to club, or he just like meet some random girl, and within a couple days he can make that girl fall in love with him. And that concept is actually changed my mind, because I always think of myself, I'm a quiet guy. I can never approaching a girl. How can I just talk with her and make her interested in me? Especially if the girl is really good looking. But one thing I notice is that I try it. I make an attempt to do it. So there will be, on a weekend, I would go out to club. In college, my roommate would stay, watching some movies, and I would just go by myself. I go to a club by myself, and inside I don't feel good, because I don't have friend with me, but I want to try it. So the first couple of times I went to a club, I tried to approaching a girl, talk with them. I was afraid, but the thing is, because the more time that I approaching the girl, the more time I talk with them, I get more confident. And the more answer they give to me, or the more response they give to me, I know how to respond to it. Because every week, I heard the same answer already. So the next week, I know how to respond it in a better way, right? So I can, I can talk with some girl, like I met our, let's say at the bookstore or something. I just make up a story. I say, I approach her and I'll say, hey, did you saw that my friend, so and so, he's this tall. I don't have a friend. I just say that so I can start a conversation. And the girl just like, yeah, I saw that guy, so and so over there and things like that. So it just started a conversation. And then, to keep the story short, over that period of time, I gained so much confidence and approaching different type of girl, and not just girl but people in general. I was able to talk with them. I'd be able to respond to them. Pick the interest. I have a lot of games. I would tell them some games, and most of the girls, they like games. They like card tricks and things like that. So I want to change who I am. But the thing is, after that, I noticed one thing is, now I become a different person. I become the guy who would go out and meet different girls. I would go out to date different girls. Like one weekend I get a phone number of someone, and the next weekend I'll meet someone else. And I realize that's not who I am. But the thing is, who you are, who you think you are, might not be true. Because you change, right? Your perception of who you are change. So keep that in mind. So I don't want you to think like, hey, now that I'm, 20 years old, I'm 30 years old, I'm 40 years old, this is who I am. No, it's not. Your personality change, is that real you? No. You are, some people, let's say you've been in a relationship in which you've been hurt before, right? And that affect how you think, and you're afraid of talking to people, and you feel like, hey, I might not be happy anymore because someone just left me, someone cheated on me, or that I have been so that's one of the situation, right? You've been cheated on, or that you try to make a girl to like you, but she end up like someone else, and you feel bad about yourself, and you think that oh I can never be a guy who the girl can be attracted to. But that's the wrong way of thinking. You can change. Your personality is not fixed; it's fluid. And people have a saying that you fake it till you make it, right? So you have to act the way that of the person who you want to be. So I did. I would act like a guy who would have a social life. I would I went out to club by myself, right? I would approaching a girl, talk to her, which is just like a friend, right? I talk to her in a way that make her attracted to me, interested to me in the conversation with me, right? So that's all my purpose. And I just changed. So from then on, my confidence increased. So whenever I see someone who very good looking, I'm not afraid of approaching them anymore, because I changed my behavior. Because if you don't do that, and the first time you saw someone, it's like, this person is so much better than me, I'm afraid to talk with them, right? That is a normal reaction. It's inside you, but I think you can change. And I can, but the important thing is you got to know who you want to become, because that's more important than who you think you are. Because who you think you are is just your own definition. You can create yourself to be someone else. You can make yourself to become the most popular person, or you can make yourself to become the most quiet or reserved. And your thinking, your mind decide that. So one thing I want to make sure you guys know is the personality test. Some of you might just take some tests and they tell you, hey, you are introvert or you extrovert, and things like that. And they're going to tell you, hey, introvert person usually when they, meet people, they don't like to communicate with people. They're trying to keep it to themselves. You feel less energetic when you be in a bigger group. But I don't think that's true. yes, you might have some personality trait that you don't like to, socialize with people. You just like, I like to enjoy music by myself. It's just something that your personality trait, yes, but that's not your personality, because your personality of who you can make yourself to be. So during that time, you say, hey, I want to try, just walking out there, enjoy the weather. I saw this lady or this man. I just want to have a conversation, just like a human, right? So make sure you understand that your mind contains belief and perception, and perception can change, right? You can change who you think you are. Let's see here. So I think the environment is very important. Like, it does affect how you think you are. So if you are, not outgoing, and you hang out with a group of friends who also not outgoing and they quiet, it just like now those behavior you learning from your friend, and then you internalizing it, and you think that, hey, I'm not as outgoing as someone else that I saw, because that person act in a way that I'm afraid to act. But you have to act that way. You have to be friend with that person, and you just have to go out and do it, right? So for me, I never thought of myself as a player, right? A player is a guy who would go out to club, date different girl, one night stand, not the one night stand part, but the ability to talk to the girl or the guy that you want, right? You never thought of yourself that you can do it, but you can. You have to just get out there and just do it. And one thing is, people say that, just be yourself, like when you meet someone that you really like, just be yourself. I don't think that's true, because you don't know who your true self is. Is your true self is a type of guy who quiet, or is a type of girl who just like antisocial? Is that who you are? No, you're not. It's just your mindset, okay? So don't let people telling you, hey, just be who you are. No, the better way to think about it, just be your best self. What is your best self? You're going to decide who you're going to become, decide on who you want to be, okay? And act in that way, okay? Because your behavior will start, changing when you start, like for instance, when you go out and talk to people, they're going to respond to you the same way. Let's say you say, hi, how you doing, right? The other person will respond to you, and most of the time they're going to respond the same way. So in the beginning, you might, stumble, you might not know how to respond to them, because that's the first time you heard it. But after you do it so many times, you know that they're going to say that, and this is what I'm going to say. And that's just become like a game. You just do it so much repetition. You become the best at it. You become the best pickup artist. You can come out to, approaching anyone to talk with them, get their number, go out on a date. That's possible. Don't tell yourself that you are not like that. I'm not the kind of guy who would treat a girl like that. Or I'm not a guy who outgoing. Or I'm not a guy, who can, have so many girls attracted to me. Or I'm not a type of girl who a good-looking guy can approach me to talk with me. No, that's wrong. Of course, some guy might like a good-looking girl, but let me tell you, there's some girl who is not very good-looking, but like good-looking guy afraid to approach them. To be honest with you, like, handsome guys, sometimes they have a very low self-esteem as well. So, these mindset, you can change your personality. And as you age, some people, when they age, like they become like 40, 50, their mindset, the perception, they cannot change. And that's the problem. That's why, at that age, people say that you cannot change your personality. But I think you can, okay? It's just your response to the environment, right? If you've been doing something so long, so often, you change your behavior, you change your personality, and that's doable. The most important thing is you have to decide, is that who you want to be, okay? If that's who you want to be, and now you feel like you are not that person, you can change it to become that person. Just come out and do it. Okay, guys? That's it for this week. Have a good weekend, guys.